Hi, this is Anna Imagination. I am in the process of finishing up the Healing Garden. There's a lot that just fell into place over the last week, and it is stunning. I finally received, I finally realized the vision, the image, the look of what I want the Healing Garden to be, and it just fell right into place. I am a huge, this is my philosophy that if something is easy, it's because it's for you. If it's hard, it's not for you, or it's not for you right now, or it's not for you until you have the right pieces. So easy and hard is a fantastic metric to determine a lot of information. It's a huge red flag to let you know you're either in the wrong place, you're doing something that isn't meant for you, or you don't have the right equation with all of the components in the right order. Trying to figure out which one of those it is what we cover in Triadic Healing, so you can better navigate when something is hard, the reason why it's hard. So I just sent out my first official newsletter. This is the overall look and scope of what I am going for. I finally am at that perfect center of my universe. We all are the center of our own universes. And as soon as you get there, life literally just falls into you. It's beautiful. And I finally found the exact position of my center of my universe, and it just, everything's flowing. So I have something that I refer to as my sunshine rounds. I love my sunshine rounds. So when you are the center of your universe, as it should be, you are your own center, and around you are all of these beautiful suns, and every one of these suns is a person, it's a group, it's your closest friends, it's your partners, and every single one of them has their own unison that they work around you, and each one is the center of their own universe. And when you finally start networking and putting all of these together, it's just a beautiful dance. So I'm making my sunshine rounds. My sunshine rounds consist of YouTube, Facebook, my newsletter, and my 4 pillars. My 4 pillars is literally each corner of the garden and Alexandria. And I have a map, I have a directory so that you can find your way around. There is a lot. And a lot of people walk into the garden and the first impression is, oh my God, there is a lot. Yes, this is not your normal business. It's not meant to be. It's actually 3 businesses in one, plus a playground. And it's a concept, it's a mindset, it's a lot more than just, hey, let's do X. And the reason why is because there's people who are selling healing and solutions to problems. I'm not one of them. I am not at all selling a single solution to a single problem. When I went through my healing journey, I went through the healing phase of my healing journey. And then I realized around the 7th ethic that this wasn't healing, this was remembering. And then I realized that it wasn't remembering, it was remembering. But I also realized that it was actually just living, ethical living. And that the reason why my life had been shit prior was because I was not aligned to ethical living, to my true self, and to what was actually meant for me. And that's when I realized that none of it ever was healing. It was a return to the self. So that's a whole nother thing than healing. Healing is, I got a cut on my finger and I need a Band-Aid, but I am in the right place for me. A lot of people are not in the right place for them, and they seek out healing, not realizing that what they need is an existential crisis, or they are already in one, and they are in the process of a transformation. And when they're done, they're going to be their true self, and it's literally an entire butterfly, caterpillar to butterfly transformation process. And when you get to that point in the journey, I call it a pilgrimage. You have this moment where you're going, wow, this is so not healing. No, it's not. It really is not. So that kind of lifestyle change requires a lot more than just have some meditation today. It's a lot more than that. And that's when I realized that the Healing Garden and Alexandria and the playground requires an entire system, an entire network, and an entire community to pull it off properly and in a healthy way. The problem is we live in a society that is incompatible with what you seek. If you are on a pilgrimage, you know this. You know the system is fighting against your pilgrimage. And what I decided to build, what I wanted to build, was not a solution to healing. What I wanted was a respite for people who wanted the pilgrimage, wanted to live the life of ethics, and they wanted a place, a system, a society, a network, a location that taught them, nurtured them how to do it, but also to get them up and running and stabilized on it. Completely different than healing, completely different. And when I realized the scope of what I was actually putting together, a single website with a single solution and a single little business is not at all what I was going for. What I needed required a much greater scope. And it took me 2 years to envision all of this and put it together, because it required literally 3 businesses and then integrated into one, all integrated with a network. My network is referred to as Pando. And there are tiers in the Healing Garden. There's tier 1. And before you even begin tier 1, there's a sample, come on in. It's the respite center. You can come right in and we get you started. There's no urgency at all here. There's no rush. There is no reason why you shouldn't take your time and just catch your breath. So the respite center gives you that space. It gives you that time to say, come on in, pause, and just rest. There's no reason to make any snap decisions. In fact, we encourage you to take your time. If you decide to stay for a while at the garden, and if you want to use it to your full maximum capacity, we have a path for you to take. Everything at the garden revolves around your power of choice, because this is the core of the healing journey and discovering yourself. Is the more choices you make, the more empowered you become. The more empowered you become, the more courage, the more authority you gain, which is exactly what you need to find yourself. This is truly a pilgrimage. And when you decide which path is yours to take, it really, it's all laid out for you. Now, it's still going to be hard. One of the analogies I love to make is this one. There's 2 kinds of hard. There is the kind of hard where it's nighttime, you're landscaping and digging a hole with your bare hands hard. That's hard. And then there's challenging, as in, I need to find the courage to overcome this obstacle hard. Now, it's hard to find your courage, locate your ethics, and overcome the obstacles in front of you, but it does not have to be that kind of hard, as well as, let's turn the lights out, make sure you're doing this at night while you landscape with your bare hands hard. So the Healing Garden turns on the lights, gives you the landscaping floor plan, and all the equipment you need to overcome your obstacles and challenges. That way, you're only dealing with one kind of hard, and you're not blind. That's the difference. That is really, truly the Healing Garden difference. Is everything else that is out there, everything else that is out there is very much giving you it's obstacles, it's hards, here's some tools, but we're going to blindfold you, keep the lights off, and you're landscaping in the dark. Whereas on the other side of everything, you're having that option of you can do the job with the lights on, with a plan, with a landscape, and with a clear direction of where it is you want to take your goal. So we walk you through the entire process. So when you walk into the garden, it looks like a buffet and a binge fest, and it's not. Start with the respite garden, start with the respite center. From there, we show you how it's laid out in tiers. There's tier 1, there's tier 2, and there's tier 3. While you work your way through the tiers, certain areas open up and unlock for you, exactly like a game where you've conquered one level and it unlocks the next level. So we've tiered it for you. We've layered it for you. So when you walk in, it looks like you can see all the tiers available, but that doesn't mean they're going to be available to you. Everything is prerequisitional. All of learning is prerequisitional. So we get you through Triadic Healing Part 1A to start, which is free, and it gets you through the first 6 ethics. You can absolutely go through and sample the first half of Triadic Healing for free to see if it is something you want. In addition to that, we give you the game. And the game is also free, and it is actually the entire pilgrimage you need in the order in which you need it, in a Pokemon Go meets Dungeons and Dragons kind of an atmosphere. It's absolutely fun. And we walk you through it. We give you the network to start connecting with friends, which is what we refer to as Pando. And this is also free. So the community is free. The game is free. And part 1 of Triadic Healing is free. We have membership where you gain access to my monthly Q&A. And that is now available on the website. You can go ahead and grab that. That also gives you 4 of our courses that are pre-recorded and all set for you to go. And it gives you a welcome letter that strategically lays out your entire healing journey for you. So it's literally all laid out. That is quite literally the, let's turn the lights on, let's give you the landscape plan, let's show you what the real thing is that you're dealing with here, and let's get you through the steps. Now, there is existentialism, and then there is an identity crisis, which is actually the same thing. And then there's healing. And a lot of people use the word healing, not aware that they're actually dealing with an existential crisis. Big, big difference. An existential crisis opens up the door for the abstract. Now, there's a lot of concrete thinkers in the world. There's a lot of literal thinkers in the world. And literal thinking and concrete thinking that's where we all start. We all start with concrete and literal thinking. Around the time we hit when you hit the existential crisis, it's the crossover into the abstract thinking. People who are abstract thinkers have been through it. You cannot get to abstract concept and abstract thinking until you've been through an existential crisis. Once you've been through the first existential crisis, then you go, okay, I can now think abstract. We actually have classes for this. We teach you how to have an existential crisis on purpose. We teach you how to safely do it. We teach you all the tools. We walk you through it. It's a process. And it is one that is the difference between conscious awareness and unawareness. That's really, truly it. Is people who have that existential crisis have crossed over into conscious awareness. And this is why so many people are mindless followers. It's because they have not yet had the great existential crisis to make them aware. Furthermore, they haven't crossed into the abstract thinking. And as a result, there's a lot of people in the material plane with concrete and literal thinking who have no concept that there's a whole nother reality that exists in parallel to them. There are 2 realities that require each other's existence. They very much work together. They always have. We dabble in them every single day. Every time you go to sleep, you are in the abstract. Every time you daydream, lucid dream, or REM sleep dream, you are in the abstract. Every time you use money, every time you use time, every time you use mathematics, you are in the abstract. Every time you imagine, if you read, if you are stepping into story, you are in the abstract. But being able to comprehend and become consciously aware that you are using the abstract as opposed to staying in the material plane or with literal or concrete thinking is entirely different. Problem solving is only possible in the abstract thinking world. It is not possible to do problem solving in the material plane. You can't do it. Concrete and literal thinkers do and can use abstract concepts, but they are unaware of them. Being able to think abstract thinking is not something you can't do until and unless you are an abstract thinker. It's something you cannot consciously do until and unless you are an abstract thinker. That's the difference. It's all about conscious awareness. It's all about cherry picking your mindset as opposed to accepting whatever has been assigned to you. I'm going to say that one again. It's about cherry picking your mindset as opposed to accepting the one that has been assigned to you. That is the difference. And that is exactly what we work on in Triadic Healing and what we cultivate. So welcome to the Healing Garden. Welcome to our official opening and the layout of everything that is presented to you. You will catch me in my sunshine rounds as I go through. I have YouTube, I have Facebook, I have That's pretty much it, is YouTube and Facebook. Those are my social medias. And then I have my newsletter. So a great way to get started and to stay up to date is subscribing to the newsletter and then grabbing the Respite Center. If you go to the website, annahealinggarden.org, there is a banner that says enter the Respite Garden or enter the Respite Center. Click on that. That will get you started. And again, it's a very relaxed welcome. Take a breather. This is what we're all about. This is what our mission is. If you open a link and it takes you to an empty page that says coming soon, it is because the Healing Garden is vast. And as a result, we are building each and every stone and laying it together. There's a lot that is already available for you. And that is when you find those links, you'll be able to walk right through it without a problem. There's a lot of options available to you. To make the most out of the Healing Garden, the Respite Center is that fantastic place to start. So thank you so much, and may the kindest of words always find you.